Hey guys.
How you doing, Brian?
Good, good. How about yourself?
Not bad. Guess my mic works today, huh?
It sounds like it, yep.
Did you get a chance to look at that list?
I have not. I have been so busy with work and answering emails, but I got it bookmarked so I can get to it. Where'd you find that at, Alan? I'm looking at it now.
I just came across it. I don't even remember how.
Wow, 345 in Pennsylvania? That's a lot.
Yeah. Yeah, I was surprised. Actually, I think I Googled waterfalls in PA or something, and that came up.
Cool. Hi, Beth.
Hello.
Hi, Barb.
Hello. Oh, my dog. Oh, jeez.
Saying hello.
Unmute. Did you hear that? Okay.
Hey, there's Carolyn.
Yeah, you won't see me for a few minutes.
I see you now.
I know, but in a minute, I'm going to be sitting down and I won't. I got to eat a piece of pie before I stand up for this.
I'm not even going to ask, but okay.
I have a piece of pie my husband made, pie with ice cream.
You know the rule about pie and Brian. If there's no pie for Brian, there's no pie for anybody.
Well, then come on over. There's pie left.
All right.
You're allowed to come.
I'm on my way. I'll leave the meeting running. I'll see you guys in a little while.
Monty's been practicing his pie making skills.
Oh, okay.
The worthy pursuit.
Yeah, right. We don't need that. Don't lose weight very well. Let's see. Maybe I can get that. Yeah, I can. Play with the camera a bit, right?
Oh. I don't know who else is going to jump on tonight, and I'm looking to see who opened the email today.
Thank you, Marge, if she's on.
Nope, she's not on yet.
Oh, she's supposed to be.
Did you get the email, Carolyn? I changed your email in the system.
Yes, it came.
Okay.
And I also found all the other emails that you sent.
See, it wasn't me.
No, it wasn't you. Why Gmail thinks they have to sort your mail into categories that you don't even know exist?
To make you look for stuff.
Well, I lost a few good emails that shouldn't have been lost. Hey, Brian,
Yeah.
my next activity is on Sunday. I'm putting together a car parade for my daughter in Ligonier
Okay.
for her 50th birthday.
Oh. What kind of car parade?
Anybody who wants to get in it can come and join it. We're going to ride around town. Six have to be there around 6
Okay.
to line up. But if anybody is interested, drop me an email and I'll send you the instructions. They aren't out yet. It's in the organizational phase.
You better start organizing faster as Sunday's only a few days away.
I know. Well, I've got pretty much everything. Yeah, things are falling into place. My daughter doesn't know what's happening. I've learned, Brian, if I plan too far ahead, it doesn't work because it never works if I plan ahead.
I don't plan at all. Just whatever happens, happens.
They'll see you Sunday.
Anybody got anything exciting going on since, 2 days ago?
Yeah, congratulate me. I became the proud father of a D750.
Oh, congratulations.
Thank you.
I believe, Barb, you went to the Z6, didn't you?
Yes. I'm at Z6 and I'm debating on the light I want to get, whether I want to get what is it, a Pro Photo or Photo Pro, whatever and how do you pronounce the other thing? Godox or Godox or
Godox is what I hear a lot.
okay.
I don't know if that's exactly it or not, but Pro Photo and Godox both make good things.
Okay. Yeah, I'm debating on which light do I want to go with. So, yeah, but I have the Z6 and so far I love it.
You looking to go to like a single light portable that's battery charged, or what are you thinking about?
I'm thinking like something that is portable that I could take and on the set outside anywhere, do some portraits. But I'm also thinking that what if I'm going to be doing a wedding? I don't like setting up external lights at a wedding.
Yeah.
I like having that flash on the camera and just being on the go. So one is versatile off and on camera, while the other one isn't. The Godox, I don't think that's made for on camera.
So you're looking kind of at the Pro Photo, the speed light that is usable off camera as well, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
They say,
but it also has an ion battery.
Right.
With the battery charge. Now the other one has the lithium, and the ion battery. I mean, I have a Speedlight 900 that I can use A batteries or the ion battery with that as well. And it just doesn't, like, after so many flashes, I mean, I'm finding myself constantly switching out the batteries. So that's why I'm sort of debating, like, which, the lithium battery, I'm sure that would be much better, I'm assuming. But, you know, is this the GoPro light, is that good for battery life? I don't know.
So in the Godox, you're looking at, are you looking at like the AD200? Is that what the one you're thinking of?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
I've seen a lot of good reviews on that, and it rates high in a lot of places as a good flash. And then in the Pro Photo, let me see. Oh, Pro Photo. You get an idea which Pro Photo light it is. I can't remember which one is which.
Yeah, I can tell you in a minute here.
An A1X.
Gee whiz. I sent myself the link, but it's not coming up. Darn.
Well, actually, well, if you're looking at the A1X, which is the Pro Photo speed light,
Yeah.
that uses a lithium-ion battery, and it does have a magnetic mount to the front, so you can change the. They have a lot of accessories for the Pro Photo one that work with it. And I know I've seen that as a very high rated flash as well. There's a lot of people talk about that flash. And I think you belong to the camera club with Heather Lathan, don't you?
Yes. Yeah.
She did a review a little while back on the A1X, I believe. So you might want to search through her information and see, because she talked about using it at weddings. In her review, if I remember correctly. And I know the Godox isn't going to be your on-camera flash. That's an off-camera flash, really.
Right.
And it has its place, and it's a good flash. It really is. But check with Heather's. Go through Heather's post. I know she had it. I don't know if it was on her Facebook page or if it's in her her regular website stuff. But I know she did a review on that A1X from Pro Photo, and she liked it a lot.
Oh. Okay.
You guys don't think that I pay attention to what's going on around me, do you?
Some things, Brian, some things.
It's part of not sleeping only a couple hours a night every day.
Yeah, I can remember when Monty did that, and he got so much thing done that it was amazing.
But Barb, if you were looking for something that was versatile and able to be on camera, off camera, and everything, I would look seriously at that Pro Photo A1X.
Okay.
And I do believe
what I'm looking at, Brian, is it says Pro Photo A1 Air through the lens -N studio light for Nikon. I don't see, you're saying A1X?
Yeah, I'm on Pro Photos.
I hear you. Oops, sorry, I'm talking to my cat.
Oh.
You said an A1 Air.
Yes. A1 Air TTL N studio light for Nikon.
She wants to talk. There. Hey, say
Aw, she's pretty.
hi. Say hi.
Aw.
No, don't go running away.
Oh, I
Say
like her
hi.
colors. So pretty.
Okay. Okay, down.
It looks like you feed her well.
I really don't. She I swear that if I go bowling with her, I'd get a strike. And her name is Little Dog.
The cat's name.
Yeah. My husband doesn't know the difference between a cat and a dog, so he named her Little Dog.
Oh my.
Yeah, that's what a PhD in physics and a theology degree does to you.
Okay, Barb, it looks like the A1X is actually just the newer version of the A1 Air,
Oh.
from what I can tell. I'm on both B and H. B&H has the one that you're talking about, the A1 Air TTL-N for Nikon.
Yes.
And when I'm on ProPhoto's website, the only thing they're listing there is an A1X, which I'm not 100% sure what the difference is. I'm kind of just glancing at it as we're talking, and you guys are talking about a cat, I believe.
You didn't see her. Oh dear. Come here. Come on back again. Here she be. Ooh. Get your claws in. Say hi to Brian. If you're nice to him, he won't cook you for dinner. Right? There. Say hi to him.
I do like Chinese food.
Poor
The
guy.
cat.
Oh. Sorry you missed her.
Well, I was reading, so that was kind of my fault.
No, you were supposed to be reading. You were doing what you were supposed to be doing. I don't think the purpose of tonight's meeting is to share your cat.
Well, tonight's meeting is all about whatever. It doesn't.
Good, then you don't mind if I start to make my posters.
Nope, not at all. Built-in.
I've been photobombed by one of our dogs almost every single meeting so far, so.
I don't think she'll photobomb you, but she'll sit here and meow at me because it's almost dinner time for her.
Barb, I really can't tell the difference. I don't understand what the A1X is compared to the A1. I don't see this is better because or anything like that. So, but I know that Heather did a review of this. So see if you can't find it from Heather.
Okay.
Because I do believe it looks like the A1X has a little bit better battery. I found a comparison between the two now. So A1X available for Canon, Nikon, Fuji, and Sony. Recycle time of 0.05 to 1 second. So it recycles slightly faster. The recycle time for the A1 is 0.05 to 1.2 seconds. So you get 0.2 of a second faster, and you get a little better battery. It's looking at 450 full power shots compared to 350. You get maybe 100 more shots out of the A1X, and it looks like Fuji and Sony are one of the big differences because they're added to the A1X. Oh, it's quite a bit more money. It's $1,000.
Oh.
And your A1 Air is $595 at B&H, so it's $500 more.
Oh. Now, is that, I mean, what I have, my Nikon SB 900, okay, that I've had for many, many years. What's the difference in the battery? I mean, like, so it's going to give me more flashes per battery or what?
Yeah, you're going to get in the A1, you get about 350 full power shots, and that's on average, you know, with the lithium ion battery that comes with it. And you're saying that you have a lithium batteries in your 900?
Yeah.
Are you using lithium AA's?
No. Well, I don't know what I'm using. I have the lithium ion battery with the battery charger for the 900 the SB 900. So that's, I don't know.
All right, give me 1 second. Let me look at that as well. So SB 900 does have a lithium battery. Let's see. SB 900A battery.
So have they upped it and improved it that it will last longer and flash more? And I mean, is there more strength in this battery? I mean, if you're talking the same battery, then, you know, there's really no need for me to get another speed light. But if it's better, more improved, then I would.
Right. Let me look. I'm looking to see if there's a difference in the milliamps on the battery. That's what determines how many times a battery can be used.
Oh, see, I don't even know what that word is. So that's Greek to me.
Ryan introduces us to a new language.
Yeah.
And those of us who are not linguists can get lost. There. Okay. Now. Sorry, people. Making noise.
Of course, they don't tell you what the milliamps of the battery is. Oh. That's a different battery. You guys can talk while I'm looking. 630.
I want to say hi. There's only a few people. You can come on.
Well, according to this, the battery in the Nikon is a
Saying hi.
bigger battery than the one in the Pro Photo.
Wow.
I keep the mute on or you'd hear the dogs barking.
You want to sit on my lap? What is that? You can sit. I'm looking something up.
Hey, Nate.
Hi,
How's Nate?
How are you?
good.
Boy, I remember him as a baby when you brought him.
Yeah. He doesn't fit on my lap as easily now. Since they're invisible.
Where are you, Marge?
She hasn't joined yet.
I know. I just called her to ask her where she was.
Oh,
And that's why I said, where are you, Marge?
she probably forgot.
Well, she remembered this morning.
Well, that was a long time ago for Margie.
She called me to tell me about tonight.
Hi everyone, this is Heather.
Yeah, that's the screenshot. I want to use a different screenshot from our.
Oh.
Actually, I should change it because it's the one that I used the other night.
There's one next to it.
This one?
Sure.
That's not written.
Right.
That's from.
I don't care. That's so good.
It's from Yellowstone. Do you want that one?
Yes.
I had blocked the waterfall and I used that one though.
Dang duck. See?
Oh, you guys have really been really talkative tonight. Come on.
Ooh.
Okay.
Why?
Oh. I'm usually not talkative, Brian.
Who are you lying to? Normally can't get you to shut up.
Thanks, Brian. I never said much in the meetings in Uniontown, and I don't say much now. What do you mean, get me to shut up?
Hey, Barb, on Petapixel, there's a nice review on the A1.
You know what? I just found Heather's comparison video, so I'm going to watch that later. I see
Okay.
it's on the Flourish Academy
Right.
page. So I looked through her videos. I went to her video posts, and that's where I found it. So I'm going to watch that later. But by the comments that were made, it looks like the choice was the Godox.
Okay.
So I don't know.
All right. Well, take a look at that. I remember, like I said, I remember hearing that. Petapixel has a nice review on the A1 that was written in 2017, which is when that flash came out.
Oh,
So yeah, the A1's been around a little while. And then the A1X, for the best I can tell, is it's mainly just an upgrade in battery power. I don't see a lot of else going on it. The guide numbers and that are pretty close to the same. So,
oh, well, thank you for looking. I guess it's a matter of Nikon or Canon, huh?
yeah,
Pretty
it is, and it's kind of a matter of if you want to be able to put it on as a hot shoe flash or if you want to use it as an off-camera flash only, because the Godox is going to be an off-camera flash only. So, and I know a lot of people like the Godox, and you know it's a good flash, and I've seen a lot of happy people with that flash. So it's just a matter of which way you want to use your flash is really the big thing on that.
Oh, thank you.
You're welcome. Anybody else have any other things you want me to research while we're here?
Yeah, Brian. I can't carry the heavy camera most places anymore, so I've had a neck injury. But I have the Canon point and shoot SX740HS. What I want to know is why does it drain the battery every night? I can't leave the battery in it at all. I have to keep it open. I've never had a camera where I've had to leave the battery out to you know, when I'm not using it.
You have to turn the camera off at night.
I do. It's all off and it still drains.
Okay.
I mean, come on, Brian. I've got some sense.
Well, hang on a second. I'm gonna share with you the answer to the camera being too heavy to carry with you. Okay. Here's I'm gonna share that with you. Let me get the screen here real quick. And here's your answer to the camera being too heavy.
Thanks, Brian. You are so sweet. Okay, gotcha.
Dude, that would hold a 5x7 nicely.
Yes, it would. That's a one. And you see the price of that. It wasn't too bad.
Yeah.
No, but neck injury is what caused all my problems last year with sciatica symptoms and stuff.
As far as the answer to your question about the battery, there's a chance that the battery itself is bad. It has a cell bad in it that'll make it drain.
It does it on 3 different batteries.
Okay, then there's something in the camera that's causing a drain. So it's most likely powering the flash on and off. But it's doing something that's pulling a drain on the battery, and that's usually not a good sign for the camera.
Well, yeah.
But the thing is, with a camera like that, it's really most of the time not worth
Repairing.
repairing. It's just better to replace it with a different one.
And the other thing it won't do is every time I put a battery in, I have to set the date.
You have an internal battery that's bad.
Mm-hmm.
Ah.
If it's losing the date when you take the battery out,
Mm-hmm.
there's an internal battery in the cameras, usually like a watch battery type thing, that's probably went bad.
And that can't be replaced, or can?
It can,
Depends.
depending on where it's at and if you have access to it or not. A lot of those you don't have access to. You have to send it out to have it done.
And then again, it's, yeah.
Then you have to decide if it's worth that cost to have it fixed or just replace the camera.
Yeah. But you'll feel really happy when you say replace the camera. You know how to make his day.
Well, the last time I said that, you ended up buying a new camera, and I had to, me and Monty had to go over pricing on that one, I believe.
Yeah, he's not going to like you. You're giving him negative ions all along here.
But if you're looking for, just something as a little point and shoot to carry around, go down to Best Buy and buy one for a couple $100. You're good to go.
Yeah, well, that's what I did with this one. This one was a $450 deal.
Yeah.
And its weight is a little heavier, but I can at least slip it in my pocket, which takes the weight off my neck.
Right. Or you could go buy a good iPhone and then you don't have to worry about it.
I don't want. I can't figure. I still haven't figured out how to use my flip phone, so I don't think I'm gonna get an iPhone.
Well, you just have to remember that when you buy an iPhone, it's not to talk with it; it's to take pictures and do all kind of other stuff. You don't use it for a phone.
Anyway.
Hey Beth, that carton will hold 1,400 pounds. We can carry both of our large format cameras and me in it, and get you in it, and we'll get Nate to pull us.
That works.
Yeah.
It's got wheels. He'll try.
Here, come on over here.
You
Talk to Brian for a minute.
Stan that used to go with us that shot with the 6.7 or
Yep.
645s and 6.7.
Yeah, he had.
Wait till he's finished.
He had a
the
thing
next
like that.
question.
Yep.
Hey, Brian,
Yes.
I have my dear better half here. Would you like to tell him what you told me?
Yeah, she broke her camera. She needs to buy a new one.
Really?
That's not what you told me.
That's nothing new.
That's not what you told me. Everybody, this is my better half. or my worst half.
Monty, her camera's most likely got an internal issue that's causing the batteries to drain. The little,
And the calendar.
Oh, it isn't just the, she was claiming it was because it wasn't a name brand battery or something.
no,
But it doesn't,
it's draining overnight. And then she also said that when she takes the battery out and puts it back in, that it loses the date and all that kind of information.
Right, that's what she was saying. But
Yeah.
but with the regular, with the Nikon battery, it didn't lose it?
no. Well, it lost it. It did lose it with both.
Oh,
It's both.
okay, all right.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's most likely got an internal issue that's causing that, and that's why it would be
So
draining.
you're telling me I have to buy a new camera now?
Probably, yeah.
Go, Monty.
Can't you just put up with the battery going down overnight?
She can keep taking them out and charging them. No big deal to me.
Well,
That's what I was thinking too.
I can take them out at night, but it's aggravating, and I don't get the dates on my pictures either.
Yeah.
Anyway, they're all taken 12/31/19.
Right.
Are you having as much trouble with your beard as I am?
My problem is that all the hair come off the top of my head and come out my neck and the back, and
Oh, I see. Mine is getting so long, and my mustache is so long.
I'm about ready to pay someone to just shave my head for me, so I don't have to worry about it.
Well,
Good seeing you, folks.
Nice seeing you, Monty.
Brian, Gracie was saying she liked your hairdo.
Oh, does she?
Yes. She said, that's a nice hairdo.
Oh.
Monty, I'm going to send a print out down.
Anybody else have any
I'm
questions?
I'm gonna send another one.
I didn't bring it. though.
I'm going to send another one.
Oh. Well, I'm going to forget myself.
Okay. Anyway. See, Brian, I am trying to prepare and organize for Sunday.
Oh, okay. So,
Just-
Alan, we were talking about waterfalls the other night, and Alan sent me a email, which I'm going to put this link up on Reddit for you guys. This is a list of waterfalls in Pennsylvania. Let me share the screen with you so you can see. As soon as I remember how to do that. So, a list of waterfalls in Pennsylvania, and if you noticed, it returned 345 results, and a lot of waterfalls. And there's 3 Adams Falls, one in Lynn Run, one in Delaware Water Gap, one in Ricketts Glen. But anyhow, I thought that was pretty cool. It's a nice list of different places. Let's see what happens when we click on. We can click on it. Oh, yeah, we can click on it. There, and it takes you to it and gives you a little information about the waterfall and place and stuff like that. So, Beth, I know you're a waterfall person in the woods, and for those of you that want to be, here's a good place to at least look for stuff if you're going to be somewhere. And
We might be able to do a waterfall for if we can find them that they're not too far walked in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, McConnell's Mills has about 5 or 6,
Yeah,
all within reasonable distance of the parking area.
yeah. Hell's Hollow is pretty good because it's a pretty flat trail too, until you get to right at Hell's Hollow Falls, and you have to go down the stairs to be able to see it.
Yeah.
But except for the steps, it's
Pretty,
pretty flat.
pretty. Hey,
Yeah.
Brian, when you click on that, when you were scrolling down, it showed different falls in the proximity of that one that you were looking at.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah, at the very bottom of it.
Oh, okay. Okay. Other nearby falls. Cool. So, like I said, I'll post the link to this in Reddit so that you guys can bookmark it if you want.
I still have to get on Reddit.
I think it's a pretty nice thing there. I've done searching for waterfalls, but I've never come across this. So thank you very much for sending that to me.
Sure, you're welcome.
I am sure that some people will find that to be worthwhile.
Anybody that's on Facebook probably has seen that PA bucket list. That's another, that guy, I forget his name, but he has a ton of waterfalls on there. And then he also does covered bridges and points of interest.
Okay, yeah. You guys ever notice that when you go to Reddit, if you post a link to a website, it automatically fills in your title for you?
No, haven't tried
Never
that.
noticed it.
Of course, that works better if you actually copy the right. I, for some reason, copied the wrong link. Here, let's change that.
Beth, where is that Hell's Hollow at?
That's at McConnell's Mills State Park.
Oh, okay. I've never been there.
And
That's why it didn't ring a bell.
you'd have to look at their map to see exactly how to get to Hell's Hollow, because it's got its own parking area and it's off to the side, like down a road and another road or something. My old GPS that doesn't work anymore, I had it saved as a point of interest or something because I couldn't find it anywhere else. But I don't think I've been up there in 5 years, so I don't remember exactly how to get there.
It's
Oh,
you do have to look for it because it's part of McConnell's Mills, but it's not part of McConnell's Mills, kind of thing.
Yeah.
It's you go through McConnell's Mills and then go out around the backside and back into another direction and you get to it. It is worth the trip up there. Just the stream that goes down to it is actually pretty cool as well.
Yeah.
It's definitely a cool spot to go see. We've been up there a couple of times. I know Annie and I have been there a few times. We've stopped there, and I know Margie was with us one time. She walked all the way back to the falls, but then wouldn't go down the steps to see them. But yeah, it's been it's a nice spot as far as that, the Hell's Hollows, and then there was other waterfalls that are over by the mill and stuff. There's several right there close by that are pretty nice waterfalls as well.
oh,
Yeah, I haven't explored up there as much as I should. It's been a while because for me, it's kind of a drive, but
Say a year or so ago, me and Annie and Paul were up that way, and we went in one place and walked and seen I think 3 or 4 of those waterfalls, and then went back up to the car, and then we drove over to Hell's Hollow and did that as well. And it's a nice hike through the woods, and there's some really nice waterfalls down through there. So just be careful. They're slippery.
I was going to say, wasn't there a recent drowning there?
Yeah, that was in the main stream below the mill, I believe. Someone fell into that stream. That's a pretty strong stream there, and I know they do kayaking and stuff through that too. So it's a pretty good one too.
it's not small. I mean, it's
No.
smaller than the Yacht, but it's not small.
Oh,
Here's some images of Hell's Hollow Falls.
oh, nice.
You know, I don't know if I'm ever going to want to go back to regular meetings. It's so nice to be able to share this stuff that quick.
Yeah, I agree.
We'll go to St. Vincent's and we'll all sit there and do a Zoom meeting on our computers.
In the grouping, yeah. But no, this Hell's Hollow, it's nice. I like it. I've been there several times. And if you look at this picture, you see the steps to get down to it.
Mm-hmm.
And they've actually redone those a while back. Those were pretty rickety to go down them. They've made those a lot better.
Well, they go right into the water.
Yep.
Yeah.
Ah,
Yep. if you go there, make sure you have waterproof boots on that are high enough that you can be in some water. Because this water's not real. It's fairly deep there actually, but it's a nice waterfall.
It looks like it on that picture. It looks beautiful.
Yep.
It's a cool spot. I think I have a few shots from there and the trail on my Flickr page.
And if
Like
you notice,
way back. So it's been a while.
yeah, it's been a few years there, but if you notice, there's that PA bucket list that Alan was just mentioning there a few minutes ago.
Yeah.
You can add that to your list, Barb, of places to go.
Oh, yes, definitely.
It's
Definitely.
worth it. It really is. It's not too far of a drive up there. You could go there in social distance too, because there's not usually a lot of people out through that area.
That list I sent you, you can also do other states. So you can do West Virginia, Ohio.
Okay.
Ohio's got some really good ones too. Cuyahoga National Park is really good.
Yeah. What's the I got to think for a second. I was at one waterfall. You walk a trail way back in, and you get there, and you can't go any further. That's the end of the trail and the end of the way to get there. You come to a waterfall. It's like a cave falls or something like that. I can't remember the name of it.
Is it Old Man Cave
Old Man Cave, that might be.
at Hocking Hills?
And it's in Hocking Hills. I know that.
Yeah, I know there's an Old Man Cave or something like that there. I haven't been there yet.
Oh,
Someday.
I spent a week out there one time. That is not that is a really nice waterfall, but that's not the one that I'm thinking of.
Okay.
But let's see. I got to go over here. Let's go back to screen sharing. Okay. This is Old Man Cave that has the bridge across the top of it. This is pretty cool. But if you look at this one, this is the trail that goes back to the one that you end up where, here it is. Well, they're calling that Old Man Cave's campground, but that's where you go back in there, and that's as far as you can go. The trail stops, and you're in this big place here with a small waterfall. And in the summertime, there's a music group that goes there and hangs out and plays music there for a couple days. They camp in there and play music, which is actually pretty cool. See what you did, Alan? You got us on a waterfall kick now.
Yeah, well, weren't going anywhere anyway.
But this Hocking Hills State Park in Ohio is definitely worth spending some time in.
Yeah.
There's some really nice stuff in that area. I spent a week out there a few years back. I went out there and camped for a week. It was a lot of fun. Nice place.
The one with the bridge looks like a nice falls.
Yeah, I do believe that is actually the real Old Man Cave Falls. That one there with the bridge. Cool. Well, you guys are quiet.
I took pictures of waterfalls up in Western New York, Western Buffalo area a couple years ago. Had a really nice waterfall with a mill beside it. But I don't think you're going to drive up there.
We don't have much else we're allowed to do.
Well, Brian, come out Sunday night and join the parade. You can do it. You don't have to know my daughter to do it. Just make a big parade. Anybody.
Daughter.
What's that?
I said, I met your daughter.
Well, nobody, I don't think anybody else has.
Oh, okay.
That's what I was referring. Yeah, you've met my daughter. You in what, 25 years, you've met most everybody?
Yeah, probably.
So.
Hey, Rex, I noticed that we can see you well tonight. Can you see us tonight?
Yeah. I did. Let me run back just a few minutes ago. What I did is I did an internet speed check, and I've got 77 coming down and 11.3 going back up. So, I mean, upstairs, we've seen it as high as 300 megabits a second. And I've seen it as low as 36, but we've been told that even at 36, that things should work well. So I've got 77 tonight. You guys look good. And I don't know, I guess apparently my outgoing signal must be pretty good too.
Yeah, you definitely look a lot better tonight as far as your video quality than you did the other night.
Also, I've downloaded the Zoom software, and
Okay.
I don't know why it would seem to make it any easier for things to work, but I just came from another session, the Voice of Westmoreland session, and everything was fine there.
You were there with Monty, huh? Monty was there too.
Hello.
Yeah, Monty was there.
That was Carolyn saying that her husband Monty was on that same meeting.
Oh, because there's a lady that I have done this slideshow photography for doing the scanning. Her name is Monty.
Oh.
Lives right across the street. So my mind just divided into two and blanked out.
Yeah.
Okay. So anyway, yeah, it looks like I'm getting about 77 coming in and 11 going out. So, and 11 to 12 is about all we ever get anyway. So
Okay.
apparently that's enough to put out a good outgoing signal.
Here, I'm gonna share something with you real quick. This tells you how much I like my internet.
Whoa, 544. Holy crap, 47 going
Wow.
up, 46, 48.
And that was run
That's
while
amazing.
we're doing this video chat. So I'm running this and ran
Wow.
that test at the same
Jeez.
time. Normally I
Wow.
get higher numbers than that. That's a little low for what I normally get.
Low.
Yeah.
Yeah, it makes 77 look like it's on a crutch. Yeah, we can get up to 300 and something like that, 360, 355
Yeah,
upstairs.
I normally on my downloads I normally run in the 700 mark.
Wow.
But because we're running the video right now, so it's using some of that.
It's
And my
dragging it down.
TV's playing in the background too,
Yeah.
which is through the internet. So it's down a little bit right now, but yeah, I've had it as high as in the 900s on mine on occasion.
All right.
That should give you three-dimensional. Yeah, when you started talking about waterfalls, I just put waterfalls on my keywording to see what I could come up with. I did have one that I really liked from Buttermilk Falls. Now, Buttermilk Falls doesn't look anything like, I mean, many of you have been there, so you know that it is a small creek. It runs very slowly most of the time, but it does have an area in the area where we have the activities where it widens up a little bit. And I got one photograph one time right after it had rained like you know what. And I'm really happy with that picture. And what I was doing as I was looking for it, I was thinking maybe I could zoom it across, but I need to finish looking for it. I need to find it. But it was one shot on Buttermilk Falls that I thought was very good, because that's actually a very difficult place to get a good waterfall picture.
Now, this is the Buttermilk Falls that was where we had our picnic, right?
Yes,
Okay, because that one's the,
up around Katanning.
right. We just want to mention, though, that that one is on private land.
Mm-hmm.
Because there is, I'm looking at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 on this page named the Buttermilk Falls, but 2 of them are private land ones. So one of them may be that one.
Yeah, this belongs to Gene and Marcia Raven. They're
Right.
the owners.
Well, this one that's on private land is 23 feet, so I know it's not that one.
23 feet.
But yeah, those of you that was up at that picnic, that is a nice waterfalls on their property up there.
What I liked about the last one you showed, that there was a person, the one you said that sometimes have bands come out there and play. There was a person in that photograph. That's what I like. It showed the scale, and when I looked at it, I thought, wow, that is one huge cavernous area by the falls. I didn't see so much of the falls, but I could see that concave area in there, and I figured that's just like what would you call it, an auditorium itself.
Yeah,
where you could have the group put on the show. The sound must be fantastic coming out of there.
Oh, it really is. And just the walk up in there, that walk up through there is through a kind of a canyon that the stream runs through. So the walk up to that waterfalls is an amazing walk, and there's lots to photograph on the way up there. There's several places where you cross the stream on bridges back and forth as you go up through that canyon to get to that waterfall.
Mm-hmm.
But it is without a doubt a place that I would recommend going to. It's worth the walk up in there. It's worth the dragging your equipment to photograph that waterfalls and to just photograph the area to get there.
On the way.
Yeah, definitely. But yeah, the picture doesn't do it justice. When you get up in there and really look at that, it is huge. It's really a big area.
It looked tremendous.
Yeah,
really tremendous.
Yeah, that was. I'm trying to think of when I was out there. That was probably in the late '90s when I was out there.
Mm-hmm. I think that's my mistake. I put in waterfalls and it gave me 1,499 waterfalls. What I needed to put in was buttermilk. That should make it a little easier to find the one I'm looking for. All right, come on. 147, that's a little better. This is the one where the fellow just built the bridge across the water almost completely on his own. Gene did. There we go.
Yeah, that suspension bridge that he built was pretty cool across there.
And there was a bad storm that tore it up, almost completely tore it up. And he put it back together himself again a second time. No, I can't find what I'm looking for. Well, oh, wait a minute. What's that right there? No, that's not it. It might have it. Might be on my Flickr page somewhere in one of the albums.
Guys, I'm gonna show you one of my websites real quick, because I talked to you guys about. Well, actually, I posted one of these pictures, and I posted a picture of the door that I shot the other day. This is one of my websites. This is my 28photography.net. It's kind of a blog type thing. I go back and forth. Sometimes I post stuff on here regularly, and then sometimes it's 2 years before I post again. But these are the pictures that I shot the other night. Was it Saturday evening, before, just not too long before dark. I took a ride over into Uniontown here into the town, and I'd forgotten really. I mean, it's one of them, when you live in a town, you go by stuff all the time and don't think about it. You kind of just drive through it and go, it's no big deal. And when I went over with the camera the other night and just walked around, I'd kind of forgotten about these places and what they look like. This, of course, this picture is kind of too big to show at one point on the screen, but this is the Uniontown Courthouse, which is the courthouse, or the Fayette County seat or something, I guess they call it. But this, I like
The Fayette County Courthouse.
It's a Fayette County Courthouse. Yes. Okay, that's good. That's better. But I like this. I mean, just look at the stonework on this place.
Yeah.
I think it's for Uniontown, it's an amazing place, and it's one of the nicest areas in the whole town.
How old is it, Brian? When was it built?
Why do you ask questions like that?
Because I'm dealing with history.
Go to Safari. It'll tell you.
Well, I would have to look
Google
it up, but I can tell you that Uniontown was founded on July 4th, 1776.
Yep, something like that.
No,
It was way back.
it was that day. It's in my blog if you're looking. It says Uniontown, PA, founded July 4th, 1776.
Oh, cheater.
But anyhow,
There was a group of 500 Frenchmen who went through there in July 1790, or I'm sorry, October 1790.
okay.
They were the founders of Gallipolis, Ohio.
In 1894, there was a coal miner strike in Uniontown, which was resulted in 5 people being killed and 8 people wounded by guards that were carrying machine guns.
What year?
1894.
1894. Wow, the machine gun came out earlier than I thought.
Yep.
That was probably a Gatling gun or something like that. The
Yeah.
Gatling invented the rotating repeat firing mechanism.
Yes. But anyhow, I just wanted to show you these couple pictures. This is that's a bigger picture of the Uniontown Courthouse, which we can't talk about because it's part of the photographer's choice. I like this picture here. This is the Elks Lodge. Let me see. Yeah. And I had photographed it, and it was just a building. It was kind of cool, and the flags were there. But then I seen this kid. I had walked away, and I seen this kid walking down the street in a pink shirt. And I went, I'm going to run back down there and catch him as he walks past in front of the Elks Lodge. And I don't know, I just kind of like that. It's not too often you see a guy in a pink shirt walking down the street. This was the, one of those local share a book library type things in front of one of the buildings.
Oh, yeah.
A little library.
Yeah. It's actually in front of the other side of this building here. And there was flags on the streets. That one was blowing in the wind, so I caught.
That's actually, you know what? It almost got by me, but looking at that is a pretty amazing photograph. You did that?
Yes.
Yeah.
That's
Wow.
pretty-
I like that. That worked well. That worked very well.
Thank
That's
you.
a clever shot. You know what? It was so, I don't know what you would call it, but it was so good that it just almost went by me like, oh, that's something out of American Magazine or something like that. You know? I thought, oh, that's a cover from, no, that's Brian's photograph, which could be on the cover of a magazine very easily.
It would work well as a cover.
It sure would.
Thank you.
Atlantic American or something like that.
Yeah.
This is the other side of that building. This is the
That's a cool
front
building.
floor of the building.
Cool.
And that's that little library thing that I showed you.
I think I've been in Uniontown, like in downtown Uniontown once, and that was for a car show.
Okay.
And I wasn't paying attention to anything else
But the
because
cars, yeah.
I was at a car show.
This
I've been to Hobby Lobby, but that doesn't really count.
This building is pretty much directly across from the Herald Standard newspaper building. So if you're ever at the Herald Standard, turn around and look the other direction, you'll see this building. And I like this building. I think it's pretty cool. It's got some really nice features to it.
Uh-oh. OCD just set in.
I know it's not quite straight.
I'm glad I didn't have to say it.
I'm working on it.
Didn't I?
This was, I shot it with a 35mm lens, so it's got a little bit of distortion to it.
I'm looking at click left, one click left. If you want to hit it between the eyes, click left once.
Okay. I will relook at it. I will. I thought this was cool. This was up by the courthouse. This is a memorial to fallen firemen, and I just thought it kind of fit today's what's going on today. Someone had put a mask on the firemen, and there's another
Okay,
door for
quit
you.
the squealing.
Somebody mute.
I do believe that's Carolyn. I'm not sure.
No, it's not me.
Oh,
Well, Arrow is pacing back and forth trying to figure out where it's coming from.
It sounds like a smoke alarm.
It sounded like Morse code.
Yeah, it did. SOS.
this is
I could be doing that.
I grew up with Morse code, so I can read it pretty fast. So I know that it definitely had an S-O and an S in it.
Those are about the only ones I know.
Although we have some appliances upstairs that beep the same way, so it could just be an appliance.
I gotta get this up here.
I think one of our washing machine or the dryer.
I like the dryer play tunes.
I like the wood inside the cover over the roofing.
The arch, yeah.
Kitchen.
yeah.
Those wood doors. Wow, I like that. This one is square on.
Okay, good. I was hoping so. It looked a little bit squarer, better, straighter to me.
Yeah, no, it's
Yeah.
fine. It's fine. It's
Um,
perfectly straight.
this is near the courthouse, right next to the courthouse in the county building, actually, in Uniontown. I think it's an attorney's office now, but I don't know what it was at one point. But it's just, I like it. It's got a lot of interesting things going on, and I did like the wood. That was what really got me, Rex.
Mm-hmm.
The wood in that archway.
I'll say the doors are nice too.
Mm.
I love that pattern.
And this is what's out in front of that wooden door.
As a photo, I like that one better.
I agree. The other one is a picture of a door. This one has a little bit more going on in it with the lion. But there's a pair of these lions, one on each side of the walkway up there.
They aren't painted gold.
No, they're not gold.
One piece.
Okay, thank you. Oh, good, thank you.
I wish that these lights would have been on in the background. I think that would have been better if that light would have been on, but they weren't. So there's another door for Rex.
Nice.
Very nice.
I like the transom.
I like the
Oh yeah,
The
All those-
grain
all that
pattern.
stained
Cut glass.
Yeah, that's cool.
This is again, right. This is all within 100 feet of the courthouse. These couple here in town. So that was another door for Rex.
Yeah. That's gorgeous. There's almost gold right there. That wood looks so golden.
Actually, I think those doors are brass or copper.
Brass.
Ooh.
That's the county building attached to the courthouse. And actually, if you go into the Fayette County Courthouse, that's the doors you walk through to get to it. So that's the ones that they open and close whenever the courthouse is open.
You found some
I
unique.
don't think they're wood. I think they are actually metal.
It's
Cool.
unique.
I didn't go up and knock on them or anything. I don't want to get arrested, but
Nice image.
Yeah. It's interesting that in that arch at the top, that each of those little squares is different.
yeah, up through here.
Cool.
Yeah.
You know, along inside the church, specifically the Catholic churches that I've been in, along the walls around there, there will be different, it's like coats of arms of each bishop or each pope or each priest. There'll be a different coat of arms all around for the different people that are being celebrated in that church.
Yep.
So might be something similar. These are like coats of arms for, I don't know, for some reason.
Yeah. We've already discussed that door. We're just going to move on. That's the courthouse. Again, that's a smaller picture. You can at least see that one instead of me scrolling through it. I don't know. I like that picture. I was happy with that one, really.
That is nice.
Contrast is nice.
And this one, I liked what I was showing here was just a nice building with the garbage in the background. You know, kind of like, oh, don't look around the back of the building because there's all the garbage, but the front of the building is all nice and clean and, you know, well taken care of and all that kind of stuff. I kind of like the contrast of the two around the corner kind of thing there. That was what caught my eye when I photographed that.
Yeah, now
That's like the hyper diligent housekeeper who house looks perfect all the time, but if you open a drawer or cupboard, everything falls out.
Right.
Yeah.
Those are people they say are troubled on the inside, so they have to keep everything perfect looking on the outside. Bit of psychology here. Of course, in my house, you have to know I'm not troubled because otherwise, when you look at the mess, you can't possibly be.
Yeah,
What
our
I was
house is just a disaster zone. So
So you must be fine on the inside, so you don't have to worry about the outside.
yeah, I'll go with that.
maybe a little of both.
Probably.
What I was going to say is sometimes a picture looks better in black and white. Sometimes it looks better in color, and sometimes in a dual tone. It depends. This one I like exactly like it is, and the reason why I'm saying that, and it's only my own thoughts, it's my own story here. If this was in black and white, I don't think those cartons would carry the story as well as they do like they are. So I thought about, wow, I like that gray. Those grays in the building are really nice. That would look nice in black and white. But you know what? That would break up the story about the cartons, because the cartons would have to end their life as a shade of gray. Here, they actually stand out just like at the beginning of the conversation over it, neat looking building, but by the way, look what gets the attention.
Yeah. And I did do this in black and white and color and chose to show the color. I like the color version of it better because I thought it told the story a little bit better than a black and white version did.
Well, that's because of the contrast, isn't it?
Yeah.
I like the left side, the verticals are vertical.
Yeah,
Mhm.
I noticed that too.
Cool. All right, let's take a look at J.C. Penney's.
Come on, guys, help me do these posters.
And this is, of course, the Uniontown Mall, and I just was up there, and I kind of got to thinking about with stuff being closed and possibly, and J.C. Penney's is on the list right now of they may never reopen. You know, they're filing for bankruptcy supposedly, and just to think about a mall on a Saturday evening and there's nothing in the parking lot, it's empty.
I like the bird.
And
Yeah.
the bird just happened along, and man, I sure did like him too. I thanked him as he flew over my head, and luckily he didn't thank me back. But yeah, I thought the bird was just that added nice little feature. He just happened to be flying by, and I went, wow, cool, that's really going to work out well.
Well,
Detail in the lower right front, this wet area is neat.
yeah. One thing that I think is cool with the bird, it's just one bird. I don't think that the effect would be the same with multiple, but to be that size at what looks to be that distance, it's probably a turkey vulture.
Yeah, I was going to say it's a pretty big bird. Yeah, it is.
Yeah, it was a pretty big bird. I don't think it was a turkey vulture, but it was definitely a huge, at least a hawk of some sort. It was a pretty big bird.
If it had a red head, it was a turkey vulture.
Yeah, yep. But
I can tell it has a red head or not.
not in the picture.
I'm here, I can't tell.
Yeah, I can't tell in the picture either, and I honestly don't remember as it flew by. But like I said, what I was thinking when I photographed this was just the idea of this. To me, it's a Saturday night, and the parking lot's totally empty, and it just gives you that kind of a strange thing for today. I mean, you know, it's just and you kind of get that thought about the virus and everything being shut down and all that kind of stuff. So that's kind of what I was going for with this picture.
Yep.
You know what would really set that off? If there was a mask or a rubber glove or something laying in the parking lot.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah, it could be an addition to it. Yeah. I'll put one in.
Surprised there isn't. Okay, what am I doing?
And this was actually the first shot of J.C. Penney's that I shot, and I didn't think it really worked as well as the other one. The other one works better. But and the movie theater, which again, a Saturday night should have been totally packed. You know, and there it is, it's just empty. That's the
I think
courthouse.
the title, if you do a series of them, I think that the penny shot and the theater, the title needs to be the day of the week and the time. Just to show what, to put it in more context.
Yeah, that would be a good idea. Yeah. I'll have to, maybe I'll do that, because that was kind of what I was started out to do with that. But after I got done with the courthouse and stuff, it was starting to get too late to do more of the other stuff. So, anyhow, that's the courthouse. This is the county building. And that door right there is that gold colored door that we looked at earlier. That I said, I believe is metal, not wooden. And yep, we're back at the Elks. So, all right. Anyhow, those are the ones I wanted to show tonight. I know Dennis had mentioned showing some pictures, and I think that's a great idea.
Yeah, I agree.
So I'm gonna I showed some tonight, so if someone else wants to show some the next time we meet, you're more than welcome to. If not, I have plenty more we can look at. So,
Okay, anybody interested in pictures of it along New England?
yeah, if you want to show them on your screen, we'll definitely take a look at them.
Yeah, I have a ton of New England stuff.
All right, I'm going to stop that share and we'll get back to whatever's next.
And I have Slippery Rock too.
I didn't know if Rex was going to share some of his from Flickr that he mentioned the other night.
That is true. Rex, have you got that up on your screen, or if you can in a little while, maybe pull that up?
Well, yeah. I'll tell you what, let me work at doing that.
Take your time. Take your time. We'll talk. And
Okay,
whatever.
go ahead, and I may be off for a little bit. Let me take this down.
I got a few Mother's Day flower photos.
This was going to be posing. I think they were posing.
Yeah, we were talking about posing at the time. Yeah.
Okay, so in photography, I need.
I'm actually looking for another picture that I wanted to show you guys. So I'm just kind of scrolling through here to see if I have it posted on this website that we were looking at there a second ago.
Photo website.
Can I show a few?
Yeah, absolutely.
Flickr. Albums.
You see that? Flower?
Yep, I see it.
Well, that's out of a Mother's Day basket that Barb got. And I took a photo of it, turned it into black and white. It's a little bit sepia. And I thought it turned out pretty well.
I like that. I like the patterns that nature gives you.
Yeah.
You know, and I just, that's really nice direction around there, the way those, it's just really cool.
Yeah, and that's a Photoshop treatment. Let's see if I can make it change. That's a, whoops. That's a Lightroom. God damn it. There you go. That's a Lightroom split, what do you call it? Split tone?
Split tone, okay.
It's all right. We're doing this on the back porch, on the back deck with a 70-200 with a 20mm extender, so that we get decent fill of the frame and focus with that lens. And this is one that on the left is a rose, on the right is a carnation. And I like this interface between those two forms that runs on the diagonal through the frame.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So I was experimenting.
Ooh, nice.
Yeah, it's a rose. It's not. It's a modest crop. It's not a heavy crop. With a 70-200, you get pretty good fill of the frame with the extender. Only about 2 feet away, and the extender gives you the ability to focus closer than the lens is designed for. A little bit of texture increase on this. You know, the mistake I made is I have this white background up here on the left.
Yeah.
That is pretty distracting. But the you know, I was actually quite impressed with the lens's ability to deliver this level of sharpness on the image.
No, that's pretty good. It's a lot of detail in that.
Yeah. So that's what I had. There was less activity the last day or two.
That's your 70 to 200 Canon?
Yeah,
Oh, man, that's good. Isn't it incredible? I mean, you
that's
should,
with an extender.
yeah, with the extender too. Wow,
Yeah.
that's good. Yeah, the 2X extender or the 1.5?
I bought these plastic, I don't even know the brand name, but I have like a 10, a 20, and a 30 or 40.
Oh, they thread on the front
No, in the
or
back,
they in between?
in between.
In between the body and the camera, yeah.
There's no optic in them. So I didn't, it just moves the lens further from the
Right.
subject plane.
Right, yeah.
And I didn't see any reason to buy expensive.
You didn't spend $400 like I did.
Exactly.
Extender. Yeah.
Cool. Thank you, Dennis.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, I've got some up now. These are models. I'm not sure I can get them on. I think what I have to do is take over the screen, or it says share the screen.
Yeah, you go down to share screen and
Okay.
then pick the screen that has your pictures on it.
Okay, let's see. The one like right there. Okay, can you see that?
Nice.
Okay.
Yep.
There's some in studio. There's some out of studio. There are some of females, mostly females, but some males too. Some guys will come forward and have their picture taken. This one is done in 2004, which means it was done in our studio down in Virginia. I still have that red paper background if anybody wants to use it on their model. I think we still have the director's chair too. Let's look around. Then here was the details on it was f7.1, 20 millimeters. That doesn't sound right. 20 millimeters does not sound right. Oh, that's right. That's because it was, yeah, it was the Olympus E20. Okay. And 1/60th of a second at ISO 80. You don't need a lot of ISO speed sensitivity in the studio because you have the lights that will give you everything you need. I don't know what that is. That's not anything I did. And that's it. Then there's more EXIF data, but staying with the, let me put this over on the other side. So then the next one is not what I'm looking for. Let's see. That's the penalty of flicker. Okay. We take that off altogether. This one, obviously outdoors. It was a senior, and I don't have a specific date. Yeah, it was 2004, August 3rd, 2004. This was done with a 1DS, which is the early 11 megapixel Canon EOS 1DS, f3.5, pretty close to wide open at.
Rex, what did that camera cost you?
You don't want to know. It was $8,000 for the body back in 2003 when we bought it. 8,000. The 24 to 70 was about 1,200, and this one was the 70 to 200 f2.8, and that was another 1,200. So I hate to bounce around like this on you, but and then the next one is this is an example of outdoor pose where we should be a really low f-stop here. We're looking at f3.5, and it was done at 180 millimeters, which was almost all the way out to the end, which resulted in the soft background. And I used a pose where her head is tilted slightly to one side. She had great makeup on her eyes, and She had, this is a prop that we used to use. And I posed her hands this way at an angle.
Rex,
One of the things that, go ahead, Dennis.
you have her right hand over left hand. Was that intentional?
Yes, absolutely. Right. This is going up away. We only see a small part of this hand. Another thing is the shoulders are tilted. Her head is tilted. Both arms. Remember I said if there's a joint, bend them. Now there are practical situations where you can't, but the idea is to any part that's going to be in the photograph to try to move them so that you can see how angles can be produced that make a much more interesting picture than just standing straight away. So we have the shoulder. Here's another thing that we want to do. The distance from the bottom of the chin to the round of the shoulder, the round of the chin to the round of the shoulder should be less distance than it is over on the opposite side. Now, one of the things that I'm guilty of is very flat lighting. If I have a fear of anything, it's being either underlit or just no detail where it needs to be, or having to push into the shadows. So my tendency is to try to use a broader, flatter light. Okay?
What did you use there, Rex? What lighting did you use for that one?
This one was
Yeah.
daylight and on-camera flash, and I just used a light puff of flash from the camera so that it wasn't, it didn't make the face look really flat, because you can see there is shadow detail up here. Okay, we do have some shadow detail. We have some shadow detail around the neck, but we want to illuminate, I wanted to illuminate the neck so we can see that there's detail in the hair. I don't know how close it'll bring it in, but you can see a little more of the detail. I look for things like the clasp of the chain to make sure that it's around back. Sometimes it's just natural that gravity takes hold and they'll move around, but you got to watch for that. Sometimes earrings will get stuck up in the hair, and you have to be careful to watch for that. So you look at everything. You look at absolutely everything. Her fingernail polish, you want to look at that. She had some of the other shots, you can see beautiful detail in the nail polish that she had on. So, and each one of these models get the same attention, and the guys do too. This one, she just got her car. This was a Hyundai, I think, Tuberon, and she just got this.
Rex, are these clients or models?
These are clients. These are clients here, and they certainly make perfect models. This is one of the challenges is to make them look as magazine ready as you can, because believe me, that's what they're looking for. That's what they want. They want to look like that. They want to have nice pictures to show their friends. And here's, again, the pose is, you start with, one of the things I mentioned the other day was pose from the ground up. So I know I wanted her to lean against the back of the car. So we found where her feet were going to be. She did have to go through a couple of comfort moves. And then when she finally came to this pose, without putting weight, one of the things I had to remember, I was just thinking about it, you have to do this so that they don't look like they're crunched. She still has to have a neck, right? If she just relaxed, her neck would probably disappear, the shoulder would come up. But what we were able to do, and she was very good at doing it, is posing like this. Again, there's that hand crossing over the front with that hand at the back. There's a slight tilt of the shoulders, but once again, the rule here was try to get that chin the closest distance to that shoulder, and we did it. Now there is a I was able to get a little bit of shading, a nice modeling shading on one side and lighter on the other. Okay, and sometimes these things just work out. You hope for it, you're trying to get it, and you get it. Sometimes you don't, but you have to keep going. This was, by the way, a super hot day. I was on the ground. I was all the way down on the ground, and it was very moist out. So I was sitting in this wet ground taking this picture. And,
Did you use a flash on this one, Rex?
Yes, I did.
Was on camera or off camera flash?
It's on a bracket. I almost always will have the flash on the bracket. For this kind of photography, I will have all of the goodies that I need to get good pictures. Okay, so I'll be using a good bracket, and I've been using a 550EX Canon flash since we first got the EOS equipment. Let me see if I can do better than that. Okay, here's a young lady that was done out on a farm. And let me see what we did it with real quickly. Let's take a look. It was 70 to 200 at 108 millimeters. It was done at f11 at 1/250th of a second. And I have to kind of remember the stories that go with these things as I do them. One of the things I wanted to do is you don't have much opportunity. You know where things are, okay? So I know this is where the flowers are. This is where the tree is. She's over here, and we're going to have her walk this way. And as she walks this way, she has to turn towards the camera. And the horse was basically looking the other way. And just as obviously they got to this point, I just made a sound, and the horse looked over at me like, "What are you doing?" And so we got the shot.
Nice.
Here's some more. Here's a young man in his motorcycle. He's in the lower right-hand corner. The big feature is his machine, his ride. And that's what he wanted. He was more concerned about having his bike in the picture. My main concern was having him in the picture. And so I kind of had to do it half and half. And this was the photograph we got. And in this one, actually, the flash, he was perspiring a little bit, and I was using the flash, and the flash showed it. The perspiration kind of showed through there if you're looking for it. And this was, her name is Green. The last name was Green. I did several of her. Her mother is a Mary Kay representative, so you know that she had all the makeup she needed to do this. And she is absolutely gorgeous. And there's a closer look at her face.
Nice catch light.
Pardon?
Nice catch light.
Oh, yes, yes. And the camera, this was all wide angle stuff. So it was a 24 to 70, and I move it out to 70. So it really is in the portrait mode. I agree with you, Brian, that 100 to maybe 120 on a full frame format is probably the optimum. Beth, you might also, may or may not agree that around 100 to 120 millimeters for a 35 millimeter camera is pretty much the best focal length for head and shoulders portraiture. Again, didn't need a lot of ISO because especially if they wanted a big enlargement of this, you want to have a fine grain image. So it was done at 100. The shutter speed was common, 125th. This was done with two. Now this was taking the lights out of the studio and into their home. So if I am lucky enough, the next one is going to be, yeah, you can see the steps. This was a relatively small Northern Virginia townhouse. And there was a narrow hallway at the entrance with a walkway running down this way and the steps running up this way, and photographed her in a couple of different outfits, obviously. And this one, see how different it was. Probably not too much different. Again, f14, 1/125th of a second, ISO 100. and it was full out at 70 millimeters. So you can pretty much predict what I'm going to be using for this kind of, all right, how long do I have to look at this? All right, okay. Then we took her outside, out back with her dog, and we did some outside. Again, notice that even though we were outside now and we were using on-camera flash, that the color balance is pretty much the same. It's uniform, very uniform. Like I said, I would much rather have a well-lit, hate to say flat looking, but I would rather have it a little flatter and then be able to make the contrast be put in than to come up with a very contrasty picture and have to fight to get it to look a little more natural.
Rex, how did you meter this? Did you have an external meter or did you use TTL?
No, this is chimping, mostly. Chimping. Looking at the image on the Finder and seeing what will happen is just think of it as your light meter. A lot of people have some misgivings about using that, but I don't, because it tells me two things. First of all, after almost each shot, I will zoom it all the way in and look to make sure it's sharp. It has to be sharp. Okay, so I want to be able to see the hair. See the hair here? When you look closely, you can see that in. And anyway, that's the main thing. I do try to I try to keep moving, but I've gotten to the point where I can look at the image, zoom it in, say, okay, I've got it, and then move on to the next image. And when I don't, I keep at it until I feel I have something that I can work with. This is the sister of the one that was on the horse, by the way. This is a different person. Obviously, they liked horses in the family. And this was something we just bought, I think, at a place that was called Scott's. And this was our own shed out back of our home in Virginia. But wow, she was dressed in the authentic gear. This is her again, indoors. Okay, she had the widest set eyes I think I've ever seen, and they're really beautiful. Another thing that I like to do is do the pose with the hand on the chin, but there's a way to do that. And one of the things is you have to be very careful not to allow any pressure. I'm looking at the time here. Brian, you can cut me off anytime you want if you got some other things going on.
Oh, no, tonight's just talking, so go ahead.
Okay. Let me move that over there. So this was again in the studio. This is a backdrop we still have to this day. This shot, let me see if I get back down there so we can see what it was. It was, no. Anyway, let me run back up and we'll just run right to the next one. This was done here in PA. This was done in Timeless Expressions when we were working with them, helping them get their studio going. We had, when we went to work with them, and I'll be totally kind and fair to them, their backdrops were just sort of over here and over there. And it was very difficult to figure out which one we were going to pick up based on what we had been told and what the person themselves would want. That means we had to go searching for it. So during the months that we worked for them, we had sold some overhead track. We had backgrounds that were screwed into the ceiling, just like Bob, you would know the hospital railing that that go on the ceilings, that the curtains go
Right,
around.
right.
Okay, it's exactly the same thing, except it's used in the photo studio.
Hmm.
And we drove all the way back to Virginia to buy it back from fellow photographers who had quit the business. They still had it. We took it back, brought it all the way back here and set it up for them so that their backgrounds would now be able to be rolled on the overhead track to the area where the lights had been set up. And that's an awfully long story, but it's the kind of thing that was going on with these backgrounds. This was one of their backgrounds. This was their client, and this was my photography. Okay, and let's see what's next up here. Here's another one of the same young woman. This was done on one of their backgrounds. Their backgrounds are made in China. They buy these very inexpensive backdrops from China. So if, let me see, nobody wants to see that. Come on.
Brian needs that one.
Oh no, I wouldn't say that. And this one was tricky because there was a lot of shadow and lights and I guess what you would call leopard skin. I mean, not leopard skin, but leopard spots. And imagine myself or you or anybody trying to get in this pose and then come up with this expression.
You on a tripod, Rex?
Yes, as a matter of fact, I was carrying a tripod on that. Yeah, I was dragging it around with me. But the camera itself was on a bracket. The flash, that is, was on a bracket. And this is where the jimping really came in. It was important because I had to really be able to see that she was properly lit, that any spots or anything like that that was hitting off of her skin, like maybe over in these areas right here, you see there, right there in here, like that, those areas right there, I was able to somewhat control.
You want to log, don't you?
Here is a, I was absolutely taken by this young lady's eyes. And one of the photographs that I did, of course, had to be a close-up of her face, beautiful long neck. And I deliberately cut this off. One of the reasons, if you look at high fashion magazines, you will frequently see that the top of the head is cut off for one main reason, and that is to keep you looking at the eyes. Okay.
Does the dual catch light bother you?
Not me, no. But if it did, like if you were the client, this was your daughter, Dennis, and you said that you have a problem with it, what I would do is I'd take out one of those.
Yeah, sure.
Like I would even be willing to ask you which one do you want to take out, but my tendency would be to want to take out the left one and the left one. Those two lefts. Again, look at the earrings, see where they are. They're really a little bit off. This one should have been twisted. That's what I have Carol for. If I see she needed to have that earring straightened, I would talk to her about it, and then Carol would go in there and straighten that earring out for me.
Rex, the lighting is very flat on that picture, and I'm wondering how you got you must have used a softbox or something, but how did you then get the two catch lights in the eyes? Two just additional flashes?
They can. They can very easily. Even a softbox can produce a light like that. If it's far enough away, but you see, if it was real close, if it was only say 2 feet or something like that, it would be much bigger. It would be much bigger. These were probably over 6 feet, 7 feet away. And this was the power light. This side had the power light. And you can tell that because if you look at the shadow, you see the curve? There's a curve here, and there's a curve right here. And there's the loop that usually portrait photographers kind of look for, what's called the loop.
So, so are you saying the soft box had 2 flashes in it, 7 feet away?
No, one on one side, one on the other.
Oh, two soft boxes.
Yeah, a box on the left, box on the right.
Oh, okay. Now I get it. Okay.
Okay. And I think Margie will be real familiar with this one. We had a modeling session some years ago, didn't we, Brian? Out there in
Yeah, this was
one of
with Ohio Powell.
This is Melissa? Marissa? What's her name?
I don't think so. I think that was a friend that Marissa brought with her.
Let me see. This is no?
I don't think that one, that doesn't look like Marissa, but I think she had a friend with her that day.
Okay. Oh boy, that's one thing about Flickr. I mean, Flickr. Come on. This is another shot of her. Again, if you have a joint, bend it. And this is, unless you're going to smoke it, then you don't want to bend it. So I just did that to see how many people are out there. Okay. I knew it would get somebody. All right, so we have a slight bend, fingers curve in towards the leg, and bend here. Once again, what did we do? What do we have here? We have the chin, and we have the right shoulder, okay? This shoulder is a little bit closer to the camera, so she turns her head to the right. First of all, I don't want her looking into the tree anyway, right? So we look away from the tree, this shoulder, that one back, and bingo, we have the shot. Okay, let's see what else is up here. And this goes back to the very earliest days. That is an Aoi. This was done with a Pentax. Let me see if I still have the data on that. No. It's a Pentax Spotmatic 35 millimeter camera with probably Ektachrome film and a 100 millimeter Takamar. I'm not sure which is the right way. Takamar. Okay. Here's another one.
There used to be a super tack sitting here somewhere.
Super Takamar. Yeah. F14 50 millimeter. This one was a F28 100 millimeter. I still have it. I still have it in the.
I have a camera, it'll fit.
Oh, okay. All right. You anytime you want to use it, just let me know. I'll stick it in my pocket. We'll bring it. Oh, that's all. What a heck of a way to end it, huh? All right, guys.
Yeah.
All right, let me give it back.
Thanks, Rex.
Sure.
Thank you, Rex. Appreciate it.
Very nice. Thank you, Rex.
Yes,
Appreciate it.
All right.
Okay, so when we have our next meeting, who's going to also volunteer to show some pictures?
I probably can.
It sounds like Melissa's dog said he's going to do some picture sharing. And Carolyn said she's going to try to show us some of pictures of somewhere else. Northeast.
Well, I do most of my best photography when I'm traveling. I even give lessons to people when I'm traveling, believe it or not.
Did you want me to pick, believe it or not, or?
No.
Sorry.
I will try, Brian, to have some pictures. Monty sometimes interferes with what I want to do.
That's fine. If you can, that's fine.
Yeah.
Doing Wednesday.
I'll see if I can come up with some.
Yeah, I have a backup.
I don't have much of anything new. I'm still going through old band pictures yet.
That's all right. We'll see some of them. It just the idea of, like Dennis said, just show 5 or 6 pictures or 10 pictures or whatever. And it's nice to be able to do that and get to see some different pictures. So I like that. That was a great idea, Dennis. And I'm hoping that we can continue that for every meeting that we have through Zoom.
Well, tonight was sort of a proof thing for myself. I wasn't sure whether I'd be able to do it or not, but obviously I can. So I have in Flickr, I have about 5 or 6 different albums of different subjects. So over the months, from time to time, I'll chime in.
Yeah, cool. All right. Anything, anybody got any plans for future to take pictures anytime soon?
One of these days, if there's a nice day, which the next few aren't supposed to be, but I'm just gonna say to heck with it and drag Nate down to Jonathan Run Falls or somewhere.
Cool.
One of the back trails.
Mm-hmm.
Good deal. Yeah, get out and go do something. Said I've been out the last couple weekends, and I plan on, weather permitting, to go out this weekend too. So.
One of the cutest pictures I've ever seen of puppies is in my brother-in-law's home. He loves, I think, labs. He loves labs. And he had a picture that a photographer took of some pups right after they were born, and they had put them in the back of the pickup truck with the gate up, and all of the puppies were just looking over the top of the tailgate. And it's got to be the cutest picture. If I get a copy of it, I'll put it up here so you can see it.
That's
that'd be cool.
Very sweet.
I like to try to do with the puppy, like I did it with Arrow when we first got him. I did like a mini photo session for him just to get pictures of the puppy. And I'm trying to do it with her, but it's hard to do by myself because nobody's like, okay, hold her, let go, let her run, so that I can catch her. As soon as I sit her down and take 2 steps back, she's coming at me before I even have the camera up.
Yeah. Do you have a remote? You might get stuck in the pictures, but you can.
I do, but then I don't feel like the focus is right and things like that. I just need, if my husband or my son would stay, take her, and then that way she's not always just trying to come right to me as I'm trying to take the picture.
Yeah.
She won't let me get far. She's still too young she wants to be right there with you.
Yeah. Ours is 8, and I still have a problem with that. So it still is not in the vocabulary for German Shepherds.
Retrain daily.
Oh,
Yeah.
my Sheba, she was wonderful. I could do whatever I wanted with her, and she would just sit there and smile. It was wonderful.
Cool.
We're getting 3 little piglets tomorrow, so we'll get some piglet pictures.
There you go.
Cool.
Beth, did you sign up for the John Barkley seminar tomorrow?
Yeah, I did.
Yeah, me too.
Is that the string that's on Reddit? Is that the string that you put up, Brian?
Yeah.
Dennis or Beth,
One
or
of
both of them
I
posted.
put
Or Dennis, you put it up?
And then Beth put up one that actually worked.
It won't actually work.
Yeah, if
What
you
I had was incorrect.
look for the post that Beth put up,
Oh,
Yeah.
and it'll have a link that you can go and sign up for that seminar.
okay.
So
I wish I was off work and able to do it at this point, but I'm also glad to be back at work too. So
Yeah.
Oh,
Since it's a free one, they might be putting like a recording of it on
I might
All three of their websites after, probably.
I might just sign up for it just in case, because sometimes those things they send you a link afterward and say if you missed it, here's a link to the video so you can watch it. So
Yeah, could be.
actually I'll do that when we're done here. If I remember then in the next 28 seconds, I'll do that. No. My brain's been fried. I've been working 6 days a week and doing like 17 jobs at work. I actually financed 2 cars, sold a car, and inspected a car yesterday.
Do you open on Friday?
Yeah.
Is that a full open, Brian? In other words, customers come in?
Well, technically that doesn't start until 8 p.m. Friday night. But yes, we're open full. We're open full as of Friday.
Oh, okay.
So you do test drives?
Test drives are still not allowed according to the PAA, which is the part of the something that the car dealerships use. But what we're going to do is allow people to drive the car without us in it. We're going to put a plate on it, give them keys, and say go for a ride.
Yeah.
Because
Do you have to wear a mask?
Yes.
Did you have to wear a mask talking?
Yep. Yeah, that's
It's not a bad deal.
no, it'll be better than some things and worse than others. I've really become a fan of being able to sell online and through the phones.
Yeah.
And it has made things a lot simpler as far as negotiations and that. It's like, hey, this is the price. You don't like it, call somewhere else. Have a good day. But at the same time, you miss some stuff because of the way deals work out and stuff like that. But we'll adapt and keep moving forward because everything changes by the day now.
Yeah, and it could change again completely. Who
One
knows?
day. Yeah, you never know. I mean, it's just a
Yeah.
matter of we're doing what we can do at this point. But
Yeah, just go with the flow.
Yep. We've sold,
You're only in charge of your own life.
yeah.
Really.
We've been open 3 weeks and we've sold 20 some cars.
Wow. Online?
Online, yeah.
Wow.
Yep. I got a guy coming from 2.5 hours away tomorrow to pick one up. There's a guy driving down from Michigan in the morning to buy a used Corvette. Yeah. People all
How do they handle the tax? How do they handle the taxes on that? Do you buy as a PA tax or is it a Michigan tax?
Oh, that is the fun part, and that's like part of my new job is because I work with finance now. I get to figure that out.
Oh my God!
So,
good luck.
Tracing, contact tracing.
Oh yes, it's interesting because every state does everything differently. So whether you tax the dock fee or not, or whether you tax the incentives or not tax the incentives, or whether you tax the trade or not tax the trade. And every state has a different registration fee and a different title fee, and it's interesting. It makes the job interesting because and if you screw up, it comes out of your part of the paycheck. So
yikes!
You got to get it right.
Right. Is the Corvette a mid-engine, one of the new ones?
No, it's this one's a used one. It's actually a 1990 Corvette.
I wanted to let you know I gotta go. Puppy's asking to go out.
Okay.
Well,
See you,
I'll
Melissa.
talk to you guys
Bye, Melissa.
later.
See you, Melissa. Thanks
Bye.
for coming.
Thanks.
Too.
We do have 2 of the mid-engine Corvettes that are ordered and sold already.
I'll bet.
We're just waiting for them to get produced and sent out to us. But yeah, we have 2 of them that people come in and put money down on order them, and they're sold. So we're just waiting for them to show up from GM now. And there's a few of them out and about. I know Blackout Tinning in Greensburg has posted a few pictures of them where they've been doing work on them, putting tinted windows and paint seal and stuff like that on them. So I know there's a few of them that have come out already. So they're on their way. I'm looking forward for a chance to drive one.
Yeah, I bet.
I took my used car manager at our store is a Corvette person. He owns, I think, 4 Corvettes, different years. And he's been to Corvette training for General Motors and out to Las Vegas to drive on the racetracks and all kind of stuff like that. And we took the 1990 that we just sold out the other day, and he took it out this kind of road that we have up our way that's kind of windy and this and that. And he drove one direction, and he was driving a little fast, but not real fast. And then we switched seats, and I drove the other direction, and he didn't like my driving. I was a little faster than he was.
We saw one. We went to Barrett Jackson in Phoenix, Scottsdale, and saw one. That's the one they sold for $3 million.
Oh,
0001.
Wow.
Yeah, they're a lot of fun. The Corvettes to drive. But anyhow, it's definitely been an interesting couple weeks with getting, basically, they called me back to work and said, okay, do finance. Figure it out. Here we are.
Fun.
You're smart enough.
Well, so far they said I haven't made any mistakes. So
You're sissy.
That was a compliment, Brian.
I take that as a win.
Okay, guys, Rex Moyer's going to sign off.
Yeah.
I'll see you later.
Same here.
Yeah.
All right, guys.
Take care, everyone.
Thanks for
Sending
coming.
sending you all a virtual hug.
Okay.
Hey,
Bye-bye. Take care.
bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
See you guys.
Stay safe.
I'm going to go ahead and end the meeting for everybody. Make it easy. We'll see you later.
Bye.
All right. Good night.